Hey guys, 65 Ford here, playing around with the CV axle. Now, this might not be your car, but I'm going to show you some tips and tricks and show you how to do a CV axle. This just happens to be a 96 Ford Escort, but most cars are about the same. So, cars all the way up to brand new, if they have front wheel drive, they got CV axles, this is about all you have to do. So, generally you remove the tire and there's one big old nut in the middle. One thing that'll make it a ton easier is an impact gun. Now, if you don't have an impact gun, a lot of times you can actually reattach the tire. This one, I don't even know if you could on this one. The center hole's so small. But a lot of times you can reattach the tire and put it back down on the ground and take this off while it's still on the ground. If you can't do that, there's a couple tricks. Lowering it down low enough, jamming a wrench over a lug nut or something to that effect. Trying to stop this. If this was leaning against the ground, you actually do it like that. If this was leaning against the ground, you can get it in there and bust it free. You zip this off. Okay. Now the next thing is generally, if you're lucky, this will be loose. You see how this does not move in and out like this? You'll need what's called a front wheel hub puller. And what this does is this bolts over both. Put the lug nuts on and you screw it in, it pushes in. Or a lot of times you can just get away with just giving some good whacks, and that usually loosens it up. And usually you can get it out just by whacking it with a good hammer or a sledgehammer. Try not to damage those threads. You can round up those threads. One of the tricks, if it's really stuck on there, is you can screw your bolt on backwards and make the threads flush with air, and then whack it all at the same time. Maybe make this a little proud so the nut sticks out just a little bit. Try not to round those out because that'll mushroom out pretty easy. The basic idea is to, on most of these cars, is to remove the lower ball joint, and everything just swings out of the way, rotates out of the way, and you're able to push that through. All I have is 2 bolts to remove my lower ball joint, and I just got to put a wrench on there. And you can use the old trick if you don't know. To get leverage, you take another wrench, you slip it over. There we go. Okay, got the lower ball joint off. Now you'll notice I can pull it out, and at the same time I just push this in. I just lift this whole thing out of the way. I don't have to disconnect anything. I got my CV axle out. Now, I can disconnect it from the transmission side and pull it straight out. Okay, on this particular vehicle, it just snaps out. There's a little snap ring, well, kind of like a compression snap ring in there, but you just have to wedge a screwdriver in between there and snap it out. And there is a seal in there, so be careful. If you do damage the seal, it's not too hard. Once it's out, you can pop the seal out, you can pop a new one in if it does start leaking, but don't do it if you don't need to. But you're going to want to get a bucket under there. But on this one, it's easiest if I just wedge a screwdriver kind of on the side and just kind of tap it up. I'm not directly where the shaft goes in, but I'm on the side of it. Just finagling it. I'm not hitting hard. There it goes. That's it. A little bit of slop, so you can hear like a little bit of a tick sometimes when you take off from dead stop. But we'll put the new one in. And this transmission takes transmission fluid, automatic transmission fluid, so I have coated this. The seal actually rides on there, but I'm just making sure that it's all nice and clean and lubricated so I don't damage new seal. I'm just going to hold this out of the way. It's nice if you have a helper. Problem is, nobody ever wants to help you when you're working on stuff. I don't know why. Rotate it. Did I get it back in there? If need be, you can tap on here lightly. There it goes. And make sure this is all clean as well. I like to put something on there with a little grease, just a little transmission fluid, just to keep it from seizing up in there. And I'll lubricate back here because there is a little bit of a seal. And you'll just hold that out. You'll angle it in. You just put it right back in where it came from. protrude far enough where you can get the new nut started on there. Then you can suck it up. Now these go on there tight. This one goes on between 175 and 225 foot-pounds. That's tight. So wrench it down real good. Torque wrench it if you got it. And then there's a little dimple in the middle. So we'll just set the dimple down. Then all you do is hook the lower ball joint back up, put the tire back on, you're done. That's a CV axle. Remember, you're crawling underneath, so make sure you use jack stands. And a tip I always like to do anytime I take a tire off and I'm working anywhere near it, I jam the tire back up under the vehicle so the vehicle does fall. It doesn't fall all the way. You know, that leaves about the thickness of me. So hopefully if you decide to attempt your own CV axles, it's not that bad to you anymore. But there you guys go. Thanks for watching. Hey, leave me a comment below. I want to know how many miles you guys got on your cars. This one, I'm just trying to push it. You know, I have almost 300,000 on this thing right now, but it just keeps going and going. The mileage is so good, gets such good gas mileage. I can't really warrant getting rid of it when it just keeps going. So a little preventative maintenance. But leave a comment below. Let me know how many miles you got on your vehicle and what kind of vehicle it is. Hey, thanks for watching. And if anybody wants to see, leave me a comment below too. If you guys want to see what's inside a CV axle, I'll put that up as well. You know, I like ripping stuff apart. If you guys like to see that, let me know. Leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and thumbs up, thumbs down. Thanks guys, see you soon, bye.